captain has put out a huge statement, and how close was Curnow to being at North?
Ball away under pressure, but it's picked up by Archer again. He tries to crash through the pack. He does. He got through Maxwell, and he has a flying shot at goals. And then it's a magnificent Glenn Archer goal. 2 in a minute to the man who the ship.
Welcome back to Further North, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm back. I went away for a few days. Sorry I couldn't get you a pod over the weekend. I was in Canberra visiting a friend. Never been to Canberra before. That was an interesting place, but I did like it, seeing my good friend, Aaron Fernando, and his lovely partner, Jess. Thank you for tuning back in. We've got a bit to talk about, to be honest. Since I went away, Jy's dropped a statement. We nearly got Curnow, apparently, and it nearly is up in the air, but hey, you know what I mean. And a few other things going on. The W girls obviously are killing it. We're going to get into that. A short, sharp podcast today. But before we start, please, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like the video, leave your thoughts down below. It helps me a lot. Let's keep this community growing. And something that is keeping the community growing, and if you guys follow me on the socials, on especially Instagram is the main place, the Footy Fan Network is something incredibly exciting. I'm going to be a part of it. You've seen the videos I've put out if you follow me over on Instagram. If you haven't got on this, how do I explain this? It's a group of creators like myself for each team. We all come together through back chat, and we have debates. We do fun content. We do longer form chats and podcasts and things like that. One of the podcasts with me, Terry from Blue Abroad and Brad from Hawks Insider is out. We talk about the state of the game, a little bit about the draft and free agency system, a lot about the new rules coming in. Is the game broken? The game's gone. We've heard it a lot. That podcast is out now on YouTube, Footy Fan Network, through Backchat, or on Instagram, Footy Fan Network. You can find it. I've been sharing it out. Go to my Instagram page if you want to find it. Also on my YouTube channel, you can see there's a collab video with that one there. So if you could get behind that, that would mean a lot. I'm going to be on there as regularly as I can. If you're a fan of the entire football world, you're going to really, really enjoy it because it's unfiltered. We can say what we want. We're not tied to any clubs, and it's fans of each football club going at each other in friendly banter, and that is very, very fun. It's going to be huge. Get on it now so you can say you were there from the start. All right. The biggest news since I've been away is Jy Simpkin has dropped a statement about everything that's been going on, about himself, about all the stuff with Collingwood. He's been copping a lot, and I've been a defender of Jy over the last few weeks with this. And not excusing that a captain is looking elsewhere, but there's different types of reactions we can all have to this. Now, I'll say this as bluntly as I can. Everyone commenting Captain Coward on his stuff, I struggle to see how you're a fan of this football club. And I know the attitude is like, well, if he doesn't want to be here, everyone can go. You're the captain, blah, blah, blah. And I understand that too, but when you look at it at a human level, there's no need for that sort of reaction. We never heard his words, and now we have. So don't do that to him on social media. He's clearly been through a lot, as we'll get into in a second. But regardless, people like us who don't know him commenting on his photos and things like that when he's away on holiday with his partner, it's just immature and it's just not needed. So let's not do that. We're a better fan base than that. We're a better club than that. 99.9% of these fans know what I'm talking about, and thank you for respecting Jy Simpkin. I've seen a lot of positivity towards him as well. Good stuff, okay? Let's get into his statement, and then we can break it down. All right. Over the past 24 months, footy has taken its toll on my mental health, and in particular the last 12 months, especially with losing two very important loved ones in my life this year. I haven't really been enjoying my footy as much as I would have liked, and game day was becoming very hard over the course of the year. I was very open with the club throughout the season on how I was feeling about everything. I love this club and my teammates as much as anything, and without going into much detail, although I never wanted to leave, I thought that a change of environment may help spark my love for the game again, especially if it was best for both the club and myself. Some important points there we'll get into. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm exactly where I need to be. Never was it about my position interesting and where I was playing, although we have had a lot of honest chats surrounding where I'm best suited to help this club. Whilst my leadership position may take a step back, I'm committed to continuing to give my all and help in every way possible to bring success, as ultimately that's all I'm after. Thanks to those who have supported me through tough times. Now, there's a lot of things to break down in there, but first of all, well written, to the point, answered nearly every question we had. That shows leadership to me. Now, obviously, as he pointed out in there, his leadership role is going to step back. I believe he won't be captain. I think that's the right call, even though I've sort of been speculative if the club is going to see it that way. I hope Larky is the captain of this football club. But let's get into this. 24 months, he said that his mental health has been taking a toll on him. Deaths in the family. We've heard about this. He had to take some time off, I think, last year for this. It's interesting. We've all been through this in our lives, or most of us have been. And depending how close people are to you or not, it affects everyone so differently. And I think we've got to understand where he's coming from. Now, he's saying he hasn't really been enjoying his football, and that's interesting because he's had some really good performances over the time of the last 24 months. Winning the game against the Eagles, his game against Essendon was really, really good. He's I don't know if it was the same Eagles game or not, but when he put his head over the footy and he set the tone for the game over in the West, I think it was last year. Really good stuff by him. Now, he says he's been open with the club about how he's been feeling and his, not enjoying his lack of enjoyment in his football. And Sheasel did hint at this in the interview he did on SEN. I think it was with Dwayne Russell on his normal segment. Sheasel was saying that Jy has been very open about how he feels, about his position on the ground. And it's great to see that he's got the faith in the North Melbourne Football Club to be that open. There's clearly supportive people around him. So it's good that he's able to air those things internally. He backs that he loves his club and his teammates. And it's interesting that he says he never wanted to leave. Leaving has never been something that I think about when I think of Jy Simpkin, right? I'm trying to find the right words to sum up my thoughts on this, where I've said all along, I don't think he wants to leave. I think if something better comes up where he can feel like he's got his role and that sort of stuff, and it works for both club and player, that's okay. But I don't think if that doesn't happen, and this has been my stance on it for the last few weeks, I don't think he wants to go. I don't think he's asking to go. I think the only way he would go is if it suited both parties and everybody was happy. I don't think he would be doing Merritt didn't go eventually, but a player who begs to go, forces his way out because of his bad attitude. That's not how Jy Simpkin operates. It's interesting that he does point out it's never been about his position. That's been the big speculation. I wonder where the media did get that from, though. It made sense on paper. He found his way outside the midfield, but he played very, very well. And we never saw any sign of him not enjoying that role on the wing. He was kicking goals. He was getting 30-plus disposals in a lot of those games. He played really, really well. So that is something he's put to bed, which, a lot of fans criticised him for, and I'm glad that he's come out and said that's not what it is. So it's not his position. He's acknowledging that his leadership position will take a step back, but I think he's still going to be a part of this leadership group, and I would like him to be a part of this leadership group. So that's Jy's statement. That's breaking it all down. Some very interesting points. He never wanted to leave this club. It's not about the position. I can see it from a human perspective. If you've had 24 months of things not going right, how a change of scene would feel like the correct thing to do. And yes, he's the captain of a football club. Footballers are held to different standards than normal human beings. But if I'd been unhappy in my job for 2 years, not necessarily with the role, but my life, and I needed a change, a different scenery, maybe to spark my enjoyment for my career again, I think I would be praised for doing that. I think you would be praised for doing that. Yes, he's a captain, but is that any different to being like a top-level manager in a role? Maybe to us, yes, but in reality, he's in a leadership position in his job. You might be, and I am in a leadership position in my job. So I think from a human level, we can all understand where Jy was coming from there. I don't think you can disagree with anything Jy said in that statement. So it's not his position. I think he's happy to play on the wing, and he's going to play it very well for us next year. I'm glad we've got Simpkin still in this, hopefully in the leadership group, but on the team. And we made a point last podcast where I said, if you as a fan want North Melbourne to be better next year, if you want us to move up the ladder, Jy Simpkin needs to be on this team. We're not going to get better if Jy Simpkin is not on the list, especially if we trade for a first round pick and they're 18 and have never played a game. We're not going to improve as much without Jy Simpkin on this list as we will with Jy. So I'm glad he's here. I'm glad he aired all this out, and I hope he comes back and plays really well and the fans get behind him. If you love North Melbourne Football Club, you get around this guy when he comes back and he plays well for us next year. So good stuff, Jy. Getting it all out there. I think that's really there all is to cover in this. I don't know. I've sort of said my piece on it. Let me know what you think down below. And if there's any disrespectful rubbish down there, I'll just delete it, to be honest, because that's not what we do here on the Further North podcast. We support the players. We call things out when we need to, but we get behind people when they need to be got behind. And that's what we're doing with Jy Simpkin. And that statement has made me feel better about some things as well. I don't want my captain to be, not wanting to play a position, not wanting to be at the club, and he cleared all that up for me. And I hope and I think it has done for a lot of people too. But let me know what you thought of his statement below, because it's a discussion point. And I think reading over it a few different times, it cleared up all my queries. So let me know. Okay, let's move on. This one is very interesting. North Melbourne made a Charlie Curnow play. Now, in classic fashion, with the way that the AFL media is, North Melbourne sort of got laughed at for that. I saw some podcasts and some clips of people talking about the trade windows and talk about North, and they made a Curnow play, and that's usually met with laughter, which is so interesting to me, because if Fremantle went and did it, or if Essendon went and did it, are they going to get them? Probably not. But I would rather be the club that does it and tries than just goes, nah, we're not good enough. North Melbourne's mentality towards getting Curnow is, we've got the capital to get him. Let's just go and try and get him. And if we don't, we're the same. It's like asking a pretty girl on a date. The worst you can say is no, and then your life's exactly the same. But if she did say yes, even though it's really scary, you're going to get that girl that's beautiful. You're like, how did this happen to me? It's very similar with this. I hope you liked that analogy too. But seriously, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I can't believe, and I know why it's banter, right? It's banter. Anyone looking down on North Melbourne, North Melbourne went for that's so stupid. They're never going to get him. Maybe not, but I'd rather be the club that does it. And the one that comes off out of 10 that we get over the next decade is going to be better than all those teams that go, well, we're not good enough to get him, so we're not going to bother. That's rubbish. I am much happier that my football club goes, we're going to make a big play to get someone like that. Just like with Dusty, just like with Gaff, just like with Josh Kelly. At the time, I said the same things. I would rather follow a football club that's ambitious and goes and tries to get what they want and be an upgrade. You know what I mean? We're all criticizing North for not having a good trade window. They tried, clearly. They tried something outlandish. I love that. That's what we have to do. Imagine if we followed a club that went, Curnow's available, but he's probably not coming to us, so we just won't even bother. That's rubbish. So every club that didn't offer, who needs a key forward or can upgrade their positions, be better, because that's poor. Yep, we didn't get him, is what it is. Because the day we land one of those, people are going to say, oh, wow. And after we get better internally, after we grow as a club and start moving up the ladder, we're going to be able to get that. And clearly, for all the criticism Brady gets, he tried something. And the day he pulls it off, he should be praised for that. I love that we've got a recruiting team that's not afraid to throw around big cash, a lot of picks to try and upgrade this football club. So clearly the mindset is correct. That's what I love. That's what I love. And if you don't, I'm confused, because the day we get one of those, it's going to be massive. It's going to be massive. If you're a fan of a club that just said, oh, we can't get him, you're rubbish and you're not going to improve as quickly as hopefully we will. So I love that we went after that Charlie Curnow play. The next bit of news here, delistings. Now, Sean Makers, Ari Sean Makers and Seamus Mitchell, two players that we have been linked to, have been delisted. Now, this is a podcast that I'm planning to do on this coming weekend. We'll get someone on for that, probably Joel or Chief, because they're the best with this. But there's players available right now, depending on our list spots and things like that. We've got 2 draft picks. I know we've got more than that, but realistically, we've got 2. Are we going to package these up and move up? Potentially. But there's some free agents out there that can improve us. I think Ari Sean Makers can be a really good piece on that half back line for us. I don't see why we wouldn't go out and offer him a contract. Seamus Mitchell is someone we were already linked to, especially with Zane Littlejohn. He's delisted now. We can just go and get him for free. Why wouldn't we go and get those players? I've made a list of a lot of names that are out there to get, and we're going to go over those probably in the next podcast. So just there's still time to upgrade this team. Going through this list, I'm not going to read it now, but there's a lot of players that I'd be like, you know what? That would massively improve this team that are delisted right now. So there's still time. With this draft, if we package the picks and move up 1 pick there, then 3 more list spots potentially, maybe a couple of free agents, and then you can take a bolter in the draft or something like that. We will see. But hey, Joel is the expert on this. Chief is also very, very good at opposition players, so maybe I'll get him on. We'll get one of the 2 on, and we'll chat footy about some of these other names. But Sean Makers and Mitchell, offer them deals. Offer them contracts. We've been roughly linked to Sean Makers, more strongly linked to Mitchell. Why wouldn't we do it? They're free now. We don't have to give any picks or anything like that for them. Would be crazy, especially if Seamus Mitchell can be that smaller lockdown guy, that annoying guy, which we really lack depth in. And if he's a VFL player, he can try and make his way into the first team. Fantastic stuff. Him and Jackson Archer, you can battle it out, because I just don't see why we wouldn't do that. So let me know what you think of those 2 players. Are those 2 players that you would like to see on the list next year? And if there's any others, please put them in the comments. We're going to do, I'll read through the comments and see who, if there's anyone that's coming up a lot, and then I can propose that to Joel or Chief, whoever we get on over the weekend. But let me know down below, because there is a bunch of free agents. I've literally got nearly 20 names, I reckon. And not all of them I think are realistic, and not all of them I think would improve, but names that we can look at that aren't, ridiculously rubbish players. You know what I mean? So we're going to go through all that. I'm going to go through all of that on the next episode. Now, here's an interesting thing that happened with the North Melbourne Football Club. Zach Merritt and Christopher Petrarca were training with North Melbourne on Monday. So interesting. The comments, especially some of the older guys, just this would never happen back in my day. I think Winston Abraham, I believe, commented on Facebook on the post and said, no chance this happens back in my day. It's so interesting because I'm 30. I like to think I sort of bridged the gap between the old and the new. I grew up watching, early 2000s football, a little bit of late 90s, just with the highlights and the era of footy that it transitioned to. I really, really got into it about 2004 and 5, but I definitely kept up to date, with my mates and that sort of stuff before then. And the way they talked about the game and even my family back then, no chance that would have happened back in the day. But do you care? Do I care? Not really. I think this is just how the AFL goes. I don't think realistically it has anything to do with the game's gone soft or anything like that. I think everyone's kind of friends now. I think it's how drafting and everything works as well. You think about back through before the draft was a thing. You just had the areas of the zones you could recruit from, so that a specific club would recruit from a specific area. So they'll get all those players around there, but all those players were probably playing or knew each other around that area. And then another club would have players from another area that never met each other. Now you've got teammates all through high school and your juniors who play together, and then they get drafted to different teams. It's like Wardlaw and Sardis from the Bombers. They're like best mates. So do we expect them to hate each other now? That's ridiculous. Just because it's a different club. I know we don't like Essendon. I hope we absolutely destroy them when we play them next, but you can't expect that as well. I think the drafting system has changed a lot of that. So do I care? Not really. Do I think that Clarkson was going to give away any trade secrets? Absolutely not. He's the pettiest man, and that's what we love about him. They would just be doing basic kicking drills. Why were they down there? No idea. Probably just to keep fit and get a run in. How did it occur? Absolutely no idea. If anyone's got any info on that or why they think it might have occurred, tell me in the comments, because I'm interested to see your thoughts on this. I know I want to see age group. Tell me your age and tell me your opinion on this, because I feel like a lot of the younger guys won't care. A lot of the older supporters will care about it. I'm pretty neutral on it. I don't love it. I don't love that opposition players are down there, but it's such a nothing point in the year for football. I don't think it matters too much. So I'm not too fussed personally, but I know a few people are going to be so pissed. So let me know your opinions. Everything is fine down there. Look, we all hate Essendon, and that's great. Rivalry is the lifeblood of sports. But Jack Merritt's barely an Essendon player anyway. So maybe we're buttering him up. And he's going to force his way to North Melbourne. Who knows? Wouldn't mind Christian Petrarca in that midfield. But hey, he's off to the Suns. He's going to go get his tan and going to go and make a lot of finals for the AFL's Nepo baby, which is very, very exciting. So good on you, Christian, for joining that rubbish club. All right. What else have we got on the agenda here? AFLW, let's get into the girls. Now, I've missed a couple of weeks with this because I went away for a bit. I was at the game we played at Icon Park against the Tigers. So much fun. And they've got some really cool stories from this. So I went along with a friend of mine called Dylan. He's a friend of mine from back in Tassie. He lives up in Victoria now. But he doesn't really like football at all. Went with my partner, Daniela, and she brought a couple of Colombian friends along. And we've walked in, and the Nuffies go to the W, right? And there's a lot of people coming up and saying hello. So if you came and said hello to me, then it's so nice. And I can't believe anyone even knows who I am, to be honest. So there was a security guard there scanning me, saying hello. A gentleman walked up and shook my hand just before we went on the ground. We got to go on the ground and stand in the line when we clapped Libby Birch onto the ground. That was a really cool experience. And for my partner's two Colombian friends and for Dylan never going to the football really before, that was a really fun time for them to stand on the ground and see the girls run out. And when I was standing there waiting for the girls to run out, this lovely lady was yelling over the fence. I asked her name before I left, and it's been too long, so I have forgotten. I apologize. I think her handle was Rue Girl, and a number after that. But she leant over the fence and she was yelling, Josh. And I walked over and said, hello. And she listened to the podcast with Erica talking about bolognese. And she goes, my secret ingredient is fig oil and balsamic vinegar. Put these in your bolognese and it'll change your life. Well, I did. And it was really, really good, especially the balsamic. Something about the balsamic in that pasta sauce, it was like an acidity to it, or that vinegary flavor sort of came out. It was fantastic. So, Rue Girl, apologies. I did forget your name. I'm so sorry. I think it starts with an E. I feel really, really bad. But please message me and we can have a conversation about it, because it was fantastic. And the fact that someone brought those things for me to a game was so unbelievable. So you are the best. That was genuinely, it's something I've told so many people about. And you can see I'm smiling right now. It makes me smile so much. So thank you to everyone who said hello down there, and especially my lovely friend who gave me the fig oil and the balsamic. But speaking of things that are delicious, it's North Melbourne for delicious Bruce McAvaney. It's North Melbourne winning games of football, to be honest, and it cannot be stopped in the W. Oh, my God. And it's so interesting. This is only the second game I've been able to get to this year, because we play a lot of Saturdays, and I can't do the Saturday Arvos because I work. I'm waiting for Sundays or Saturday nights. We don't get many of them, so I can't go to finals now. But look, this was a game where Richmond really stuck with us at the start. It was 8-2 at quarter time. We did turn it on a little bit after then, but Richmond really hung around, and credit to them. But we just don't give up scores. Even if we're not scoring ourselves and the game gets scrappy, we just don't give up scores. You've got Jasmine Garner with 30-2 again in that game. You've got Blaheem Bogue with another 2 goals. Talia Randall, another 2. Tali, when she gets going up there, my God, she just cannot be stopped. And look, I'm trying to remember how many Ash Riddell had, 37. Amy Smith is having a very, very underrated season, 26 touches on the night. Man, this team is good. Erica, who I had on the podcast, shout out to Erica Roche. She was fantastic in this game, 21 touches off the halfback line, but she was getting angry. There was a couple of times she was in a physical contest. She'd get up and she'd give a bit of lip to the Richmond opposition. I love it. I love that fight. I believe this was the game that Alice O'Loughlin returned. No goals, but 20 touches, which feels high for her, getting around at 5 tackles for Alice as well. Erica had 6. And then you've got, Jasmine Garner had 7 tackles in that game too. It's ridiculous stuff. But just crazy, crazy numbers. I don't know who can possibly stop this team. The only thing that can stop them is themselves. Mia King played okay in this game, but then picked up an injury and she's out for a little bit, unfortunately. Quiet with Rudy Tripodi. Shirler only 5 touches but kicked a goal. But the whole team just works so well. And the Tigers tried to grind us down. They held us a lot in the first and sort of through the second to a degree. But we're just so good. We're just so good. So, look, it feels like, I'm not going to say premiership incoming, but geez, we should go a long way. I know the Hawks, is it the Hawks or is it the Crows and the D's? I know the D's are second. Maybe it's the Hawks. I'll check the ladder in a sec, but we're 2 games ahead of the next. And this is a game, unfortunately, I did miss because I was in Canberra at the time. But we played Adelaide and, at Arden Street. And I really wish I could have got down to Arden Street for this one. It wasn't a Saturday, so I couldn't have gone anyway. But hey, I don't know much about this game. I'm not going to lie to you, but I've chatted to some friends about this. It's just a Jasmine Garner and Ash Riddell clinic. Jazzy, oh my God, Jazzy Garner, 1 goal, 41 disposals, 7 clearances for the game. Ash Riddell, 39 touches again and a goal. It's just crazy stuff. I heard Emma Carney was really good in this one as well. Ruby Tripodi, fantastic stuff. A goal in this one, kicked the opener, I believe, 19 touches, but doing what she does, getting more midfield time, 3 clearances in this one as well. I've heard a lot of praise for Erica O'Shea in this one. 18 touches, 410 meters gained, which is very, very high. So I can only assume she was running off that half back line as much as she could. Man, what a team we've got here. I can't dissect this one too much because like I said, I unfortunately didn't catch this one. I've only just got back to Melbourne. But the spread, we didn't have anyone in with 2 goals this game. Vicky Wall, Tripodi, Sherlaw, Riddell, Randall, King, Garner, Craven, Tess Craven, my favourite Tess Craven, Jenna Bruton, and Blaheen the Dream, all kicking a goal in this game. It's just crazy stuff. We've won by 40 points. Adelaide's meant to be one of the better teams in the comp. And once again, we've just put them away 31-0 at quarter time. They had 1 point to halftime, 38-1, a very low scoring second quarter. But then the third quarter comes around and ends 56-7. Unbelievable stuff. Garner, Bogue, King with goals in the third. And then, the foot just stayed down, really, in the last. The Crows sort of came alive. They kicked 4 goals in this one, but the job was done, right? Tess has kicked a goal in this one. Vicky Wall has kicked another one. So a couple of goals in that quarter, but man, the job was done. Yeah, Tripodi first goal, Randall, Bruton, Sherlaw, and Ash Riddell all goaling in the first quarter, and just the game's done by quarter time, isn't it? So it's just unreal stuff. Let's look at the ladder here and see where things are at. Yes, Hawthorn are third. So North is at the top on 40 points, 32 points to the D's next, and then Hawthorn are 32 as well in third. After that, it starts to fall a little bit. Brisbane St Kilda with 28. The Crows are down. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. The Crows are down with 24 points, but it's just so far and away North Melbourne G. We're playing the Saints next, so 5th on the ladder. That'll be an interesting one. Where are we playing them? I believe it's in Tasmania. North Hobart over in Hobart this time. Yeah, so look, if you're a Tassie listener, I recommend getting down there. The girls are firing. We'd be massive favourites. I mean, Sportsbet's not showing up here, but geez, I mean, we're not going to lose a game this year, are we? It's crazy stuff. And then the last round, I think they've put this last round on a strange day. Is it a Friday in Frankston from memory? It is a Friday in Frankston. I don't know why Hawthorn and North Melbourne, this is the first v third team. Why are we playing in Frankston on a Friday? Just crazy stuff. See, if this one was at Icon Park or something like that, I'd be there. But can't get down to Frankston after work on a Friday night. But anyway, look, get around the girls. It's unbelievable stuff there. We're going to get around them in the finals, of course. I hope I can get to as many finals as possible. I'll do everything I possibly can around work. Saturday night or Sunday finals, I will be there. The grand final should be on Saturday night like last year, so I will be there for that. As long as we make it, but if we don't, I will be genuinely shocked. Thank you for tuning in. Get around the Footy Fan Network. Please go and follow the Instagram page. We want as many eyes on this as we possibly can. Follow the YouTube as well. I need backing in the comments. There was a clip with me released talking about North Melbourne, how they've struggled to be able to draft when there's so many father, sons, and academies. People came for North in those comments. I need you guys in the comments defending me as much as possible. There's more stuff coming out. There's a debate with me and Richmond Tiger Cast about who's going to win a flag first, North or Richmond. There's one coming out against Jesse from True Eagle. Fantastic bloke, but hey, who's going to have a better career, Harry Shears or Harley Reid? That's coming. That is coming, and I bloody killed that debate too. There's more stuff coming out, so please get around the Footy Fan Network. Follow the Instagram and follow the YouTube, please. And in the comments, get around me and back North Melbourne because it's going to be a great time. Subscribe if you have not to this YouTube channel. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You guys know where to find me by now. 5-star reviews on Apple and Spotify are so appreciated. All right, that's enough. I'm going to get this out for everybody for the Wednesday. Thank you for listening. Love you guys long time. Further North will be back on the week.